Hey everybody, David Moss. I'm with special guest today, fellow road warrior Joe Anderson, and we're about to try out version 14.3.7. We just received this. We both happen to be in Salem, Oregon, of all places. I live in the Seattle, Washington area, and Joe in the Denver area. So we're gonna go off and have some fun. But how you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing fantastic, David.
What takes you to Salem?
Well, I'm on a road trip. I started back in July, and I'm on this kind of big road trip where I'm hitting a bunch of the national parks. I'm going to go to Canada and Nova Scotia, and just out for a long drive.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is. Plus, we got to keep you honest, David. I mean, if we slack off, you're gonna, you'll start slacking off.
So what's your initial thoughts? You finally get to see the streak. It's real. It's not Grok Imagine.
I'm just now looking at it, and I got two thoughts. First of all, it's insane that for the past 21,413.3 miles, you have not touched the steering wheel. No interventions, none of that stuff.
Haven't had a mess up.
But I'm also jealous. Because my max is 10,200. And
that's definitely insane. I never, and hard to believe at this point we'd think we're being the 5 digits already, but pretty cool. So any initial thought? What profile do you use first off? What car do you have for the viewers out there?
So I've got a 2026 Model Y Juniper, diamond
Awesome.
black, and
that's an all-wheel drive premium.
That's right, all-wheel drive premium, and I've had it since October this past year. And I spend
Was that your first Tesla?
No, it's my second. I had a Model X before that, a 25 Model X that I love, but unfortunately it got totaled in Vegas. That's a whole other story we'll talk about sometime, but with just literally seconds to spare, I ordered my Model Y to get the tax break. So I got it literally the night of. So yeah, I'm mostly driving standard. I'm on now one version behind you. I'm on 14.6, and I drive it standard most of the time.
Same here. That's pretty much my vast majority. So we put in 5 destinations, I believe. We're all around city streets. But this is more to see if there's any, improvements or in the parking. I don't know if you know Joe and our friends, but the last 2 times, the last first drive videos have both gone horrific in parking. And the 0.5 release, the very first attempt, it parked on a ramp in a business park, literally on a ramp. And then the second one, it parked perpendicular on street parking. And then last video, I was with Overly Trev. I don't know if you know him or follow him on X, but he's from
absolutely.
Greenville, North Carolina. Great space host. And we went there, and he took me to a local Jimmy John's in town, and there was the biggest pothole crater I'd ever seen that we went through. And then right after that, it finished parking in reverse orientation, and it stopped in the middle of the drive-through. That was what it determined was a parking spot. It wasn't street parking, it wasn't anything. So we found this disc golf course. This is our first parking. We got parking stripes that are not that well painted, and it absolutely completely failed it. We're right in the middle of these blue caution lines, so you can see on there we're on the handicap, plus it didn't even park in the middle of there. I'm going to get out real quickly
It's in the crosshatches.
Yeah, right in the crosshatches for the wheelchair. So we're not off to a good start.
David, nobody loves Tesla more than you and me, but we also are first to point out the warts, right? I mean, this last 30 feet is always a problem.
This March of Nines is a long march.
You might know my day job. I'm an airline pilot, and I just gotta say, for the past 25 years, I've been flying jets and working with automation, and I teach automation and how to do it. And this is so much better than any autopilot for any airplane. This is the equivalent of it flying the entire flight and then being mad because it doesn't park the plane at the jet bridge. That's just kind of my opinion. It'll get there eventually.
Yeah. People take for granted though what it already does today.
And sometimes those of us who love it are the ones who complain the loudest, even though.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. So from driving though, I don't know your thoughts. That was a little slow down.
Yeah, there was a line there. the road. I'm not sure what happened there.
Maybe because it said that 15 mile an hour speed limit. I don't know what it said before. But, so here's one of the crosswalks that Marty asked about, and it didn't freak out.
Okay.
And a roadwork sign. Be prepared to stop. And it's got the little...
There was a stop sign back there at an angle. I was worried it was going to stop at that, but it correctly dealt with it.
So, I mean, so far so good on a driving point. Slightest hesitation there, but nothing totally to complain about. Great, nice slow down there. So for those of you that may not know, talk about what you did about a week ago in LA at the diner, what was going on there, and tell them about the prize you received and the whole debacle.
Well, so some of you may know that the Tesla diner in Santa Monica, or in LA, Hollywood rather, it hit their 1 year anniversary and had a celebration there. So I just happened to be in the area. It wasn't planned out. I was there the first night at midnight when the celebration began. Well, they announced that they were going to be giving a hat that was signed by Tesla's head engineer to the first 50 people who placed an order right at midnight.
Yep, head of design Franz Van Holzen, or
that's it. That's exactly it.
Was he there?
I did not see him. I don't think he was there. I think he had pre-signed the hats. Well, so anyway, several of us were there. A lot of people you guys know. Joshua was there, and just Tim was there. Tons of
Sat. Did you meet Sat?
I did meet Sat. He's a good dude. Sat got some moves. I don't know if you saw those.
Oh man, yeah, I got to see it in person at his signature Model S delivery. Man, I thought he was. I mean, I didn't know him that well. I'd only met him once before, briefly for lunch. And when he said he was about to do his freestyle dancing, I thought he was kidding. And he pulled it off. I mean, and he did it. And I was like, wow, yeah.
He's legit. In fact, he was doing it in front of, on the top there, they had an Optimus giving him that popcorn. I think the Optimus was watching to get a little moves from him. So maybe we'll see some of that.
A little training data. It's still
exactly.
So now we're coming up to a park now. So it still has the same thing where it's prompting you. Do you want to pick parking lot or street in this instant? So let's see how it does on there.
David, how do you use that? Do you choose the appropriate one, or do you just kind of...
I pretty much choose the appropriate one. It seems like it ought, you don't have to pick it. It seems like it'll determine on its own, but I pick it 99% of the time. What about you?
I'm still playing with it. I'm trying to find out what the limits of it are.
So sorry to interrupt you. I think it's very unusual to pull in parkings in a row. That was flawless. That was perfect. No,
agreed.
No complaints about that whatsoever. But yeah, I mean that was a good first.
It was, and you can read into it, but what I've noticed is everything is really smooth. It seems assertive, and we had that one little, burble that might have been a shadow or a line in the road.
But we're kind of almost nitpicking at that point. It is important to note, but
absolutely.
But if I had to deal with that for the rest of my life, I think I'd be okay.
I'm in the same boat. And who did you get these suggestions from? You were saying it earlier.
Marty. He's in Spaces a lot. I don't know if you saw him, but just a fellow guy. He was the one that suggested the crosswalk. All these other destinations, I just picked on my own while I was out downloading, but kind of give a roundabout block around. You and I know the highway stuff pretty well by this point, so try to get some city streets action, and it's been pretty. I had this funny thing that happened to me last night. I was driving, and FSD, it slammed on the brakes for the proper reason, like the semi-truck. The semi-truck was kind of getting in my lane, and it did the proper thing by, slamming on the brakes, but I was pissed because my backpack fell and all this, and I was super angry about it. But I was angry at the car because, not for saving my life, but for oh damn, my back, and it was the dumbest thing. I was thinking, I'm such a spoiled. Oh, what?
There must be a police car or something. Okay, did you see?
No, that was a
What do you interpret it thought there?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe just a flashing light. There was nothing that, I never seen that. I'd heard of people having that like mock pullover, especially on 14 light, but I've never seen that with my own eyes.
Okay, I've had it once in either 14.4 or 14.5, and but I've had an equal number of times just like that, and I won't have even seen the ambulance behind me.
Yeah,
so
I feel like, that happens
yeah.
way more than it does me. It seems like it's driving confident now. Like,
Agreed.
it's like I almost looked down and thought I was on Hurry or Mad Max, but not in a bad way. So now we're going to a Harbor Freight tool store, so another big lot. Going to the back. Let's see on there, but it seems refreshingly nice. It seems like it's driving very fast.
Yeah, it seems very confident.
Slowed down nice for the speed bump. Ignored that stop sign again at the weird angle in a proper way. And then now we're gonna see it go around and try to park at this Harbor Freight. I wonder what used to be here. It looks like a
Lowe's or something.
home goods store or something. But
Yeah.
maybe it's yet to be built. Who knows? But so what's your opinion? You've been, as many pretty much, been more states using FSD than I have. Oh, well, let's see what it does on here first.
These are some weird parking spots.
So another one completely, you want to both get out for this one?
Yeah.
So we had it on parking lot, and you can kind of see those diagonal lines, but I don't know. I mean, would you call that a spot? Or it seems like these got repaved for kind of like a street parking in a way.
Yeah, it actually is set up for previously the normal parallel, but now it's got just like parallel parking for trucks or something. And it's an edge case, I think, that it probably just hadn't seen before.
You almost got to give this one a pass, I guess, in a way, but
Yeah.
still, I don't know. I still don't like it. But going back to what I was saying though, what do you have to say to the people that, I get a lot of people in the comments, nice folks, they mean well, but they say stuff like FSD doesn't work in my town, or if you came to my block, or if you came to Memphis or you came to Oklahoma City, FSD doesn't work there. Do you buy that kind of thing at this point with everywhere you've taken it, or would you say FSD works pretty much universally here in the States?
David, first thing I'll say is, most of those people, it'd be easy to kind of come down on them and say they're being negative, but the fact is, they just don't know. I mean,
they don't have the experience. Yeah,
that's right, and it's hard to believe that the future is here right now. So what I would tell all those people that please go down to Tesla, take a free test drive on FSD and see what it's like.
Well, I think a lot of these people, that was a little hesitation there at a cross bump where only half of it was the crosswalk. But
yeah,
I mean, these people say like they have the latest version, they have 14.3.6, but I guess more on the experience front that they have a problem in their town, and now they think FSD is never going to be solved.
Oh, people have it. Well, in that case, first of all, I'm not going to deny anybody else's experience, and then, and I assume that these people aren't, trying to short sell the stock or something like that.
Yeah, they're fans.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess sometimes it comes down to, we talked about this earlier, just perspective. Mm-hmm. And if you look at things negatively, and if you think that it should be perfect right now, it's not. But it's according to my drives, 99.6% absolutely perfect. 100% safety.
Another little little tiny wheel shake. That's 2 in a row. One was kind of on what I thought was going to be a speed bump, and another one there just taking a regular protected left. But keep going. Sorry, Joe.
No, it's okay. The fact is that if here's the thing: there are people who paid for FSD, 10 years ago, and they paid a lot of money for it.
Up to 15 grand.
Yeah, and let's just be honest about it. I have a little bit of empathy for those people, especially those ones who was promised. And we all know that Elon's tech is amazing, but it's a little bit late. But as somebody else said, do you like the future when it's late? Well, of course we do. It's fantastic. So you've driven a lot of places, as you know. I've driven through every state in the U.S. on 14, and in a lot of conditions, not just on the highway, back roads, dirt roads, small towns, big towns.
Heavy rain, storms, maybe
snow.
It does so good on 14 in snow.
It does.
Weirdly good.
Yeah.
So here's the local Tesla store. Not very many cars. A lot of Cybertrucks in for PCS repair, but also they got a supercharger there as well. And there's brand new performance.
Gorgeous.
So what did you have for a vehicle before your X? What kind of cars did you drive most of your life?
Most of my life I've driven a variety of things. My first vehicle was a truck. We from 13 on, I grew up on a farm, so I'm used to, just working on things a little bit of a gearhead, turning things. But most immediately, I've had a 98 GMC truck with 213,000 miles on it. I love it, but I've also got a little BMW convertible 3 Series that I love. It's just a great car that now sits in my driveway and never gets driven. I love that car, but it is absolutely I love Beamers.
Yeah.
My stepson sells BMWs, but that car is a piece of junk compared to my Tesla.
100%.
I mean, and I still love that brand. I'm a fan of BMW, but
even take FSD out of it, just the phone app, and phone as a key, and the preconditioning, and how cheap it is to run, and the rest. I mean, there's so many pros to this.
So many.
What's your thoughts on the Rivian R2? How do you like it? Do you hate it? Have you seen one up close yet?
Quite frankly, I haven't seen one. It's superchargers. Obviously, we both see them. Let's see how this part goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the lines.
Yeah, I'd call this a win.
Especially because it had another one where it had pre-paved lines before.
Yeah.
See that?
So. And this has some. Yeah, sure.
So I would give that a good score. You were saying about the Rivian R2 though?
I've talked to Rivian drivers. I don't know a ton about the vehicle. I haven't kept on up on it, quite frankly, because even though I think the competition is fantastic for Tesla, for consumers,
you just love what you have.
Absolutely. The only thing I'm waiting for is, as everybody knows, I want the semi-based RV.
Yes, that would be so cool. Okay, so we're getting to our last stop, which will be the most difficult one, the little breakfast spot that we were not able to get into this morning because the wait was so long. But that means your suggestion was so good, Joe. But we ended up going to this omelet spot, and we had a wonderful time. An older gentleman celebrated his birthday there, and that was the biggest omelet menu you'd ever seen. They had over 70 choices, I think it was.
At least. I think it went to like number 107 on the end.
What kind of omelet did you get?
What did I get? Let me think about that.
I got a pepperoni and mozzarella, and I was like, that's the weirdest pizza meets omelet thing I've ever heard of. It was greasy because it was pepperoni. It wasn't my favorite, but like, I'm glad I ordered it just to say, because it's like I'm never gonna find a place that you're gonna have pepperoni and an omelet again. But
I forget the name. Like, let's say the lady's name was Betty. I apologize for not knowing this. I'm sure somebody will tell us, but it's Betty's Omelets or whatever her name is.
Oh yeah.
And there was a section.
You're here the
Sybil's. Yeah, Sybil's Omelets. There we go. Sorry, Sybil. It's Sybil's Omelets in Salem, Oregon. Highly recommended. The staff was great. It was clean. The food was fantastic, and the prices were pretty good. There was a list of Sybil's suggestions, and I got one of those, and it had, some meat and cheese and stuff in it. It was great.
Beautiful. So we're kind of get to our last stop, but it doesn't have to be. Is there anything you'd like to see it test at or
You know,
try or Mad
David,
Max or?
there's two things I'm hoping for. I'm hoping we see a pothole, which we probably won't. And I really would like to see some pedestrian interaction, just to see.
Yeah.
Maybe see on a bike or something.
Let's try to go to the Safeway. Maybe we'll get something at the grocery store. We'll pick pullover so it'll go in the front.
Great.
But that's a great idea.
Oh, here's Sybil's right here. We're passing
There we
right
go.
by it. Great place.
So I heard you had a gift for me.
Well, David, it takes one person who spends a lot of time on the road to know the needs of another. And, I know you've got some snacks and some drinks back here, but there's one thing that us dudes really should bring along on the road trip. We won't speak of why, but these are key. If you're doing a road trip, but this is not by no way sponsored by these guys, but fantastic. Dude Wipes rule. And,
Dude Wipes, I'll take your money though. Let me know.
That's And David, we say in the airplane, when you fly with somebody, you put some gum down, and I tell everybody, it's not a hint, it's a mint. It's not that you have bad breath.
Mm.
So, for the record, David Moss does not need these, but we all do.
Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. I'm gonna put it to good use.
So, David, what are you doing after our drive today? What's on the
So
plan?
I'm going back home, make it to Seattle area, Tacoma. I haven't been home since the middle of June. We were talking about we're filming this on August 1st, 2026.
Wow.
So that'll be exciting. And my best friend all the way from kindergarten, also named Joe, he just had his second little baby today, Theodore. He's got Theodore and Nathaniel now. That was perfect on the pedestrians. You couldn't have asked any better than that. Absolutely. I mean, barely saw it. Slammed nicely on the brake. I mean, that was picture perfect. But yeah, going to see Joe. His wife had their second baby just last night. So they got 2 kids now under a year and a half. So he's got a handful. So I'm going to come over and help out, bring some dinner and spend some time, and be nice to catch up. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Traveling as much as you do, it's really hard. The thing I hate the most, it's hard to keep these personal relationships when you're gone as much as we are. I felt like over the years, you almost, people stop inviting you to stuff because it's like you're almost avoiding them, but you're always gone, in a sense. I don't know if you've had that similar kind of thing over the years where you have to tell people you're in town
Well, first of all, congratulations to Joe and to baby Theodore. That's fantastic. And really great of you to help them out. But as far as relationships go, the first thing is, and I know you're a little bit younger than me, but you've kind of grown up with this tech. So
Yes.
we've got video calls, we've got ways to keep in touch, and it's a lot easier than it used to be, and those are fantastic. But as far as spending time with people, the other thing I figured out is that as we get older, people have their lives and they're busy with things, so you do miss out on some stuff, but it just makes it all that much more special when you get to spend time with them. So it's great that you get to go back today and spend time with them, and kudos to you for going to help your friend. That's
Thank you.
fantastic.
So we're pulling into Safeway here. Maybe we'll get some more pedestrians, but we got the clip we were looking for.
No,
You couldn't have made that up.
I wish we could say we set that up, David.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I put it on pullover just
Okay.
because I wanted it to go in front of the store So if that was an Uber, Robotaxi, rideshare kind of drop off, we're right at the gate. That was literally perfect for that mode.
No question.
So I think would be a really cool button, and it's in Robotaxi, is they have a pullover button, but one you can use on the middle of the ride. Is that a button you'd really want?
Oh, I would use it constantly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing some sightseeing. I've been in 7 national parks in the past 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be perfect there.
What was your favorite one?
It's impossible. I'll tell you, this is gonna surprise people. It was one of the ones I hadn't been to, and it was Crater National Park, Crater Lake
Oh.
National Park. And it's the reason why is I've been trying for.
That's the deepest lake, right? Or
It is. It's almost 2,000 feet.
Wow.
Feet deep. I think it's the deepest in North America and one of the top, 7 or so in the U.S. But
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful place. And while there are places that are more stunning, since I was a kid, I always wanted to go there. And I've flown into Medford many times and rented a car, but it was raining, and I just always wanted to go there. So that's for me.
Oregon's, it has the terrible weather like most of the Pacific Northwest, but you came right at the perfect time. It's summer, late summer, 80. It's 76 degrees out today. Perfect. A couple nice little clouds in the sky, but no humidity, no bugs. It can be quite the gem, but for a very, very short amount of time of the year. Did you make it down to the coast? I guess you mentioned you met the band in to charge at that one. Did you get to ride up to Tillamook or any other fun adventures here in Oregon?
I did. So I went to the furthest west supercharger in the U.S. Then I went to a point out there. I think it's called Bandon. I think the name of the town is. We were discussing the supercharger there.
Yeah.
And
you know what Bandon's most known for?
I do not know.
They have a big, huge golf resort called Bandon Dunes. It's a professional, like they have a lot of PGA and U.S. Open qualifiers there. And this resort, it has 6 different golf courses all on the same property. And
That's like heaven for you.
All on the water, yeah. I've never had a chance to make it quite yet, but it's that's.
What are the greens fees there?
Oh, it's like $500 per round per course.
Oh man. Well, if you get a round, maybe I'll pick up golf again and go with you.
Well, if we're gonna golf in Western Washington, I gotta shout out my hometown favorite, Chambers Bay, University Place, Washington, home of the 2015 U.S. Open. Wow,
That was a good one.
people crossing. I was thinking that was a false stop, but I mean that was perfect. It was a little abrupt, but it didn't necessarily have to do that. But it was nice that it did. So now we're going to go into a tricky one. If this fails, it's a dirt parking lot and it's incredibly small. We can't knock it if it gets this. Here it is. I see there is a spot. We got this woman here. And we'll see if it nails it. If I was parking, I would have just gotten that end spot. It's got this. Okay, we got the Mercedes C300. They just turned their lights on. And now we're going to park next to the Chevy. And I sure hope you Yep, there you go. Boom. It always seems like it gets so close to that car. I don't know if
It does.
happens on your car too, but it always, every time today, still today, it scares the hell out of me. But
Especially when we saw the 14 light stuff.
oh yeah, man. I mean, that's a story for another day. So that's 14.3.7. Any final thoughts, Joe? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for the gift. It's finally so great to meet. Joe and I really connected when he was doing his big 48 state zero intervention tour earlier this year. I was happening to do the Canadian coast to coast, and Joe had just started. And Joe made a really wonderful post that touched my heart about all the stuff that we're doing in this FSD community, promoting personal autonomy, especially with those in need. And then great that we finally got to meet, and all the tips and tricks you've shared me, and future adventures ahead. Like I'm going to do a similar journey all across this great nation. But thank you for coming. Any last words about the release? Are you looking forward to it? Do you wish you're going to stay on 0.6? Or
I'm hoping to get 0.7 really soon, David. All I know is it seems like I need to go in your next videos because I asked for interventions and we got 2 really good ones and it handled it perfectly. But it's really been great to spend time with you, David, get to know you a little bit, hear some of your story, and just drive along in this famous car that's got now. Where are we at, David? What's the number as we end here?
Let's open the self-driving app. We just crossed 50,000 miles self-driving, and 21,820.3. So I will hopefully hit 22,000 miles if all goes well on the FSD streak by the end of today. But happy August, everybody. Thanks for watching.